So a lot of you today would have seen news like biggest IT outage in the country, Microsoft glitch, flights not operating, newsrooms going down. I'm hearing news about London stock market got hit and 911 was down in US for certain states and a bunch of variety of different things. A lot of IT employees are enjoying because either their VMs are down or servers have crashed or well elongated tea party. Now, this discussion is more of a deep dive into what has happened and the impact of that. This by far might truly be the biggest tech glitch in the history of tech. This was an impact on Microsoft and Microsoft Azure and a security vulnerability at the same time. So all of the big words and all of the things that are critical for running infrastructure. Now, as most of you know that Windows, like they're probably used by plus 70 plus percentages. Yes, there's Linux, yes, there's Mac, but they're a very small percentage. So a lot of servers and infrastructures, all of that are Windows based. Second, Microsoft Azure is also very popular and they are used widely by governments, healthcare companies, airlines and whatnot. So if you have seen today, you would have seen these kind of images, blue screen of that, we'll talk about that, boarding tickets getting handwritten, flights getting cancelled, stock markets getting crashes and things like that. So that has been unfolding today. Now let's go deep dive in and understand what has happened. So some time back, and there are most likely two events that are being traced, but Microsoft support, Azure support had on their official, they talked about a storage incident in central US and it had a downstream impact. Now they are also aware of a issue impacting virtual machines running Windows, which was for CrowdStrike Falcon agent. Now, so there are two essentially issues that are being talked about, probably since it's happening both with Microsoft on the same day. The biggest issue that has been hitting the laptops is the CrowdStrike Falcon agent issue. Now, what CrowdStrike is something that should be understood first. So let me go and take you to CrowdStrike and you will probably understand. So these guys are market leaders. If you see, this is Gartner Magic Quadrant, Forrester. They are the world leaders in cloud workload security. So it's not a open source software. It's not a small company. These are probably the most costliest and the best in the world. And they are used everywhere. I think we shouldn't be harsh to them despite the magnitude. There will be repercussions for sure. But yes, issues can happen. It's technology. So having said that, they are probably the best in what they do. Now, what has happened is they have updated the Falcon agent and they haven't said why it happened. They're just talking about that this was a single content update for Microsoft hosts, Windows hosts, and Mac and Linux OSs were not impacted and they are category calling. So they have identified the issue, isolated it and fixed it, and then they are working with their customers to fix the issue. Now, a lot of people are actually thinking that this could have been a cyber attack. So, well, that can or cannot be ruled. Who knows? We will have a lot of conspiracy theories coming out. If you go down to Azure services, it still is tracking this issue on their virtual machines across different regions. So this issue is still running around. So there are some recovery options and repair options, but it looks like the IT teams and the IT admins are going to be very busy. Now, what does this episode teaches us? We had the biggest or probably the biggest operating system going down, a lot of laptops going down, cloud going down. The security company, which is supposed to keep you safe, has caused so much chaos in the world, right? So what can you do as an enterprise, or what could be the solution to this? Well, unfortunately, my answer is not very strong in this case, and I'm still building a point of view. I think one option which naturally people will latch on to is multi-cloud. However, it does add a significantly high amount of complexity in your ecosystem. Can multi-cloud help in this scenario? Yes, you could do primary, secondary. Your critical systems could be working in that way. However, it's very difficult to actually adopt a multi-cloud strategy. What else can you do? People can talk about a lot of elevated privileges and all of that. But these kind of software systems, which essentially are installed on servers in data centers, they are designed to avoid getting a lot of vulnerabilities, avoid cyber attacks. So unfortunately, you do need these kind of systems because that's the world we live in. Some time back, you might have heard about a crypto company called Wajirex getting hacked and a lot of data was leaked. Multi-cloud is one option. Second is not just relying on one single technology. Yes, there are leaders out there, but maybe you can work with some of them to reduce the impact. However, the sad part of this story is I don't know of a very strong way by which this could have been either prevented or cannot happen again. These kind of events are black swan. These kind of events will happen, and the amount of dependence we have on technology, that's not going away. So we should be prepared for a lot of these kind of scenarios. However, it's very important from a personal perspective to also safeguard a lot of your personal infrastructure. So when you work with banks, when you work with servers, when you work with email providers, make sure you use trusted computers, make sure you have your multi-factor on. And all of these are very simple steps. Make sure you have good passwords, make sure you have biometric, adopt the best security techniques. Now that is more hinting towards the cyber security part of this. However, adopting those practices could just help you be a little more vigilant and reduce the amount of impact you are. That will give you the education that you need to stay vigilant. All right. So this video was a little different on the lines of, what has happened, the biggest tech glitch in the world that we are seeing. If you have liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't want to see any of these videos, give me a thumbs down, put in comments. But please do subscribe to my channel. I talk about AI, large language models, software architectures, and all of that. Basically sharing my experience over the past 12 years of working in IT.